Anesthesiologists, what are the best things people have said under the gas? Two of my fave, both patients coming out of anesthesia. Am I in hell? I responded, no, you're not, you're just in recovery. That sounds like something the devil would say. Count backwards from 100 to prove it. Or the one who stroked my unshaved arm while I was trying to keep him from pulling at his fore, and muttered, you'd make such a great carpet. When I got put under for a colonoscopy, I didn't really fall asleep during the countdown. I just looked at the nurse a bit confused and said, I don't notice anything. And she smiled and squeezed my wrist and said, just give it a moment. As soon as she said that, I started fading out, and according to her the last thing I mumbled was, oh, that's fucked, you magic witch. I had to go under for ear surgery once. I thought it'd be funny if I asked, does anyone need anything while I'm out? Right before I went under. I remember it kicking in way quicker than I thought it would, so I had to take my chance while I still had it. I yelled it but got a very confused look from everyone standing around me. Took a minute for me to realize I had accidentally yelled it while I was waking up from surgery. Oops. My husband went under last year, and once he woke up, by appearances he was as sober as a church mouse. Walking, asking serious questions of the doctor, apparently no issues at all. He remembered the procedure and described it to me in detail. I figured he just never went completely under. He was craving Chinese food, and nothing would do except for a buffet, so we headed down and loaded up our first load of plates. Evidently, he actually woke up from the anesthesia at the buffet. As far as he remembers, he was put under and woke up in front of a plate of chicken teriyaki on a stick. Kind of a reverse story. Going under to get my appendix removed, they begin doing the countdown as they inject a hefty dose of propofol and fentanyl to put me out. I count down to 1 and then ask, now what? The surgeon looks at me and says, you're still awake? Man. You are fat, you know that? I said, you're just saying that because you think I won't remember. He said, exactly. That's the last thing I remember. Last year they were knocking me out for a colonoscopy. It was the third time I had been put under in a year. As such, I had a curiosity. I had heard that when they knock you out you are still awake for a while, you just don't remember. So in the spirit of science I proposed a test with the anesthesiologist. When she started the medicine I would begin counting backward. When I would wake up we would compare what I remembered to what she observed. Plunger down, 99, 98, 97, I remembered nothing more. Minutes later I awoke. The anesthesiologist espied me and came over quickly. What did you remember? She asked. 97. She began laughing. You got down to 7. Nurse anesthetist here. When I was in school I was getting ready to get a lady off to sleep and going through my regular spiel. I had the mask on her face and I said nice big breaths as I pushed propofol. Right before she went out she said thanks, I just had them done. I looked at my preceptor, we looked at the circulator, and we all burst out laughing. I now say slow deep breaths instead. I love telling that story, that lady made all our days. Edit, obligatory thanks for the gems edit. I also learned that this is an old joke, so maybe that lady had heard it before. I hadn't and laughed so hard I pissed someone else's pants. My dad works with that stuff. Funniest thing he's heard is, hey Mr. Doctor? My ass itches and I'm too high to scratch. Edit, no he didn't help, the dude passed out right after. My wife is an anesthesiologist and her best line from a patient is, this is better than meth. When I was getting put out, I heard this cheesy jazz music in the operating room. I said, of course Dr. R listens to this garbage. Dr. R immediately appeared next to me looking none too thrilled. Then I went under. Edit to say therapist. Not the rapist. When I was 9 and having jaw surgery, The surgeon was putting me under and said, "Say bye to your mommy." And apparently 9-year-old me thought that meant they were going to kill me. My mother says I gave her a look of absolute terror and then passed out. I had a patient start a joke before surgery and finish it when they woke up without prompting.